when I watch this back, I will check out and see how I feel about the fact that I'm super far from the camera. I actually have a new set right now from the previous one where I just set up like a tripod and just faced that way. So right now we'll see how this set goes, but that's aside from the point. I just want to update you on a big change I just made. So I actually like to open with a story. Imagine that you are in a relationship, either a familiar relationship or a partner relationship with a girlfriend or a boyfriend, or a familiar relationship like with your sister, brother, mom, dad, etc. Now, say that you were the source provider, or you are a provider for your family. You went to work, you made an income, you brought it home to sustain you, your family, or you and your partner. Now, say that inflation is going up, and you need to make more money. You need to keep up with inflation to pay more bills, or to keep up with the current bills that are happening right now, and you need to make either more money, work more hours, or something to earn this money to like sustain you and your family or partner. You get what I mean. And now say that you didn't. That when you needed to provide, that you couldn't provide. Now, that means that unfortunately, like that, the people you were providing for, now they have to go and be providers. Your mom has to go work. Your dad has to work harder, or say that your girlfriend, your partner, has to go and work now from being at home and pursuing their interests. And now that is something to do with accountability or external factors, but we're just gonna make it about accountability because this is the lesson I'm gonna be teaching right now. And earlier in this video, you saw a time lapse of me making this board right here, and I'm going to be referencing this a lot when I'm going to be talking about accountability. Best intro to this subject, probably not. This is really just video practice. Either way, I'm going to explain to you like the benefits. And so to get back to that story, I think it would have been a better way to open this is with you yourself. If you can't get something done, that means somebody else has to get that thing done. And now for me, in my case, this meant that when my accountability was low, meaning I couldn't get the work done, I wasn't disciplined, and I let things slip, that meant that my lovely partner had to go and sacrifice herself to go and earn those things because I unfortunately did not. Now, during this time when my accountability was low, let's see, what is a pointer? No, that'd be a bad idea. Now, during this time when my accountability was low for me, that meant that I had a large disappointment in myself because I couldn't get the tasks done. Like, I had set myself a bunch of, or currently, actually, right now, I have set myself a bunch of goals of things that I want to do. And unfortunately, when my accountability was low, I couldn't actually go and achieve those things. And that made me feel really disappointed and like really down, which leads me into another thing about this is that when your accountability is low and you can't get your work done, which is the lower productivity right here, a negative feedback loop is created when you can't get things that you want to do done due to your accountability. I'll get into this graph I made down here, this cycle chart, pie chart? No, pie chart's the one, cycle. Yeah, I'll get into this chart graphic later when I fully finish the low accountability thing. And so when you can't get the things that you want to get done, you create a negative feedback loop because you are given a task that you want to do and then you don't do it. And this encourages bad habits because you're going to like cope with the fact that you didn't complete the things that you wanted to do, and like like uh, the negative feelings created from that because of it. Now, in myself, this was seen in the fact that, say, I had the goal of waking up consistently at X time. Now, waking up consistently at X time was at the time like a rather high bar for me to clear. And we'll get into this topic later when I talk about like easily when I talk about reaching goals and like work and progressing. That's another video. But I just wanted to go into the fact that I had the goal of waking up at a certain time, and for a large stint of that time, I wasn't able to achieve that early morning wake up time that I desired to do. And because of that, I engaged in, or I harbored feelings of disappointment in myself because of my ability to not achieve those things, and this encouraged bad habits, possibly like scrolling TikTok. Actually, I don't use TikTok, thank God, but of like scrolling and mindless time on your phone, and it gave me lower self esteem because since I was not able to achieve these things, it created a sense of disappointment in myself. It encouraged bad habits because of the negative feedback I got from not completing it, and this made me really, for the longest time, just become avoidant in wanting to even achieve the goal because I knew that I didn't want to go and confront more negative feelings. But in reality, I should have been dealing with the actual source of my pain, which was my low accountability. And another thing about low accountability is that you, of course, are able to be as productive as you are if you were to have high accountability, because a person who does not want to work will inherently not produce as much as someone who not necessarily wants to work, but more so doesn't mind working and doesn't really mind that overcoming that like that burden of having to go and work to create something of what's the word to create something of value. And I'll go into the chart now. I don't know if you can see it. And so I made a graph where first you try to avoid tasks or responsibilities because of the negative feedback you get from you you avoid taking responsibilities because you know that you can't fulfill them and that you don't want to let people down. But eventually, you will have to be given a responsibility to do, as we're all, you know, we're all people who have relationships to others, obligations to others, that they want to enlist our help in achieving. Or we ourselves enlist something that we want to do and that we want to achieve for either ourselves or for someone else. Now, because of our low accountability, this isn't going to inherently negatively, or is going to negatively affect our task ability, or our ability to get this task done, meaning it usually doesn't get done because of our low accountability in this subject, meaning that when something doesn't get done, negative feelings are created, and it's rather a cycle where because of the negative feelings, you avoid tasks, and because of your low accountability, the task doesn't get done. And that was the section on, and that is the effect low accountability has. And for a small step in wanting to improve your accountability, I'd say that improving your accountability comes down to consistently doing something that you usually don't want to do. Or is that discipline? Well, either way, accountability, I believe, is like discipline of yourself, of getting stuff you want to get done, because not that you want to get it done, but because you need to get it done. And so, a small actionable step that you can take to improve your accountability is, say, to complete small tasks that you otherwise would not have done. If you look to my right, my bed is made. And for some, this is a very, very low impact area where not doing the task, not keeping your accountability in making your bed is like it's a test, because you don't have to make your bed. Like, you can get out of bed, shower, work, all that stuff, and come back, and you can still sleep in your messy bed. However, like, engaging in the habit of making your bed means that you're keeping yourself accountable. It's a small thing you can do to keep yourself accountable. Or say cleaning a part of your room. Like right now, there is a dirty pillowcase over there because I try and change out my pillowcases to stop oils from accumulating on my face when I sleep. And a small like actionable step for me, if I felt that my accountability was low, which is questionable, is to just take that pillowcase and put it in my laundry hamper over there. It's improving your accountability isn't like these huge steps that you like easily overcome and that you just achieve like in an instant, but rather it's about small things compounded over time that leads to you improving your accountability. And so, for me, or for you, it's just something as simple as cleaning up some trash around your room. This was the eraser I used for my whiteboard, but I just threw it over there. I was tired last night. And see it as an example of accountability. It's like I could have just easily threw this away and went to bed, but instead I exercised less accountability and left a some trash around my room when I easily could have like tossed it into the trash can. Now, low accountability is pretty bad, and that's okay. Actually, it's not okay because you're hurting yourself and the people around you because of a low accountability. I'd like to show you the positives of actually having like high accountability in your life, and how that can go, and how that ranges from beyond just getting more done. And so, high accountability is equated with a high fulfillment in life, with being happy, because being having high accountability means that you have the discipline to stay focused on whatever goal you want to achieve, either personally, work related. Like you can go and get it done, and getting things done is a very euphoric feeling because it establishes in yourself. It establishes self confidence and self esteem. I think that's the word of believing in yourself that, or having the belief in yourself to say that if I want to get something done, if I want to achieve something, I can do it. And that is a very, I believe, powerful feeling that you can have to like bear all throughout life, whether it's personal goals, it's like work related goals, it's you know life goals. Like what do you want to do with your life? And if you say that in my life, I would like to teach people about mechanical keyboards and show them how much of a positive difference that mechanical keyboards make versus the usual membrane crap that we type on. That's a very powerful feeling to have, and that all stems from the fact that you have high self esteem, which I put somewhere here, positive feedback loop, and it's equated with like high fulfillment and your high accountability. Now, of course, because of having a high accountability inherently means that others do not need to work due to your success. And this could be rather small, menial, or very large, actually. Now, having a high accountability means, or having good accountability on a small sense means like you keep the bathroom clean. If others don't keep the bathroom clean, you will keep the bathroom clean, meaning that they don't have to keep it clean. Or to explain, I live with my family right now, and we have a shared bathroom just behind me, over there behind that wall. And a small accountability task that I do is usually the area around like the sink, the faucet will have like water around it from like just washing your hands, the water flying behind like the sink area. And usually for most of my siblings who use that bathroom, it's our bathroom. They don't clean it up, and because I clean it up, where I just get a towel and just wipe around it. That's a small accountability task that others don't have to do because of my accountability. Now we can get into the bathroom politics later about, about how much that actually matters, and if in reality it's better that we all share the accountability of keeping the bathroom clean. But that is a not a video, but a discussion I need to have with my family. And so, where's my marker at? Okay. And that's on a menial scale. On a large scale, high accountability means that if I need to make more money to pay this bill to keep my family happy, that I can do it. That means that you know, that my son or my daughter or my partner, my girlfriend does not need to go out and stress about making money to help me pay the bills, because I myself can pay the bills, because my accountability has let me accomplish more tasks to go and earn either a promotion or higher pay or something like that, or freelancing, business, blah, 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 blah. And of course, with higher accountability means you do get more done than you say would not get done with low accountability, because of that, like I said, that aforementioned belief that you can get things done. And so you do produce more if you believe you can do something. It's like how a person who believes they can curl 20-pound dumbbells will inherently will do more bicep curls than someone who doesn't believe they can do 20-pound bicep curls. Even though it's like both of them can technically do, even though both of our people in this example can definitely curl 20-pound biceps, or they can curl, they can bicep curl 20-pound dumbbells. Like they can do it, but the difference is belief and that self-esteem between these two. And the person who believes they can curl a 20-pound dumbbell, the person who believes they can do the work will get more work done than the person who does not believe they can do it. And for another point that I want to highlight is, like, high accountability means that you have a higher likelihood of getting something, of doing something, rather than someone who doesn't believe they can do it. Now, I actually worded my words wrong. Let me say that again. A person with higher accountability has positive feelings associated with their work, which in turn means they have a higher likelihood of doing more tasks and taking on more work than someone who has negative feelings attached with their work and does not like do that. That's kind of why I put the avoidant point up there when talking about people with low accountability, because of the fact of the negative feelings associated with it, the negative feedback loop, because of the negative feelings associated with taking on tasks and failing. The big difference really is just down here between these two. And so, I'm not gonna get that. And so, a person with high accountability believes they can get stuff done, and since they believe they can get stuff done, that means they usually get more stuff done. Because they got stuff done, that means they'll take on more tasks, and that's what leads us into our graph here about a given task. The high accountability, the big ticket item difference in these two, the completion of the work, and the positive feelings associated with completing the task, which in turn leads to taking on more tasks because of the given thing. And now, I'd say the big takeaway, I'd say, is really the actionable step I said earlier. Unfortunately, or not unfortunately, because I'm bringing it up right now, I'd like to emphasize that more, of starting small, of doing small tasks to improve your accountability, your responsibility, your discipline, and doing that in turn will lead to. Sorry, I'm just really, not bloated, but I'm just burping a lot. I'm just trying not to. Anyway, sorry. Back to the topic. What I'm trying to say is that you want to do small steps to improve your accountability. Because taking big steps, going to the gym every day, going and making your bed every single day, waking up at this hour every single day, like the every tag, that every, is going to stress you out and create avoidant, negative feelings associated with that, and you're going to avoid it. Because I can tell you from personal experience, from when I tried to do cold showers every morning. Now, this isn't a declaration of me saying I won't cold shower for the rest of my life. I'm going to cold shower again, but this is to say that intimidating yourself with a goal, a task, a responsibility much larger than your capability is very unproductive and will only lead to intimidation and rather in a development of avoidant feelings with said responsibility. And so that's why I'd like to start you off on just either making your bed or cleaning your room. Those two things are low impact, and they don't have a very large effect on your outside life beyond them, but they're good starting points to like dive into improving your accountability in your responsibilities with said thing. And I'd like to leave you off with those two, just to not intimidate you and let you know that accountability and improving yourself is small steps, and the most important thing is taking those small steps to eventually lead to the big steps, to going to the gym, to waking up at this time, to cold showering. It all starts small with just cleaning your trash or making your bed.